So I love that we have opportunities to use these amazing essential oils to make our own products, our own things that work for us. And one that I am getting ready because we're heading into the winter season and I do not like to be without it is I'm making a chest rub. And so I use Easy Air or Breathe. So Canada, we call it Easy Air. In the States, we call it Breathe. I use that as my main oil, but there are other oils that I really love to add. So I'm going to show you a few. And I actually am just taking a peek through here if I have any others that I want to add on my spinning wheel. I think I've got everything that I need. Yep, we're good. Cool. And I'll just, my one other drawer that I like to check. Try to keep everything together when I'm making things. Yep, we're good. Okay, so we've got it all. So here we go. We're going to start with just hard coconut oil. I buy organic because obviously, again, I'm putting this on skin and I'm putting this on my little one's skin. And we're going to absorb this in. So I'm using an organic coconut oil and it's just a solid, hard white coconut oil. And what I do is I give it a bit of a water bath. So you'll see I have a bowl and inside this bowl is boiling hot water that comes about halfway up my little ramekin that I'm using. But again, you can use whatever you got. You can put a cup in here or a mug. That I put this is about a quarter cup of the hard coconut oil, and now it is, see, nice and melted. So that's all nice and melted. I do it that way because I don't need to boil my coconut oil, or I'll have to wait till it cools off a bit before adding essential oils because, again, we don't want to break down the chemical constituents. That's what we're using to help ourselves. So instead I just do it that way, so it just warms it, and once I see that it's pretty much melted, then I'm ready to go. So it's not super hot. Now I'm going to add my Easy Air, my Breathe. For every tablespoon, I add 5 drops. So in this case, I'm going to add 20 drops. 1, 2. I have to shake this one a little bit. I'm getting to the end. There we go. And I actually have 2 because I use this a lot. I love this for when I'm working out as well. So I tend to go through a fair bit of it. There we go. So that's my 20 drops for my 4 tablespoons or my quarter cup that's in here. Then what I'm going to add to it is I like to add some eucalyptus, again, just to help open airways. I add about 3 to 5 drops, just depending, again, what I've found to be helpful. But I find in a quarter cup, 3 to 5 drops of each of these is very useful. Rosemary I like, especially if I have any irritation in my throat. So I can rub this right up my throat, and again, helps with airways. So I'm going to add about 4 or 5 drops there. And then I'm adding cardamom because, again, really, really good if we've got anything more going on as far as the coughing end of things. So that's going in, 5 drops. That is it. And then I'm just going to do a little swish around. I have enough room in here to give it a really good swish. So that's good. And then you can either let it just sit out and harden up again, or you can put it in your fridge and let it harden. But what happens with this then is I take it and I put a lid on it. So I have a little lid, or again, you can pour it into another container or a little pot, whatever you have that has a lid just to keep it in. And then once it's solid, and anytime you're needing a chest rub, you just, take a little bit out, rub it on your chest. You can rub it between your shoulder blades, or you can even put it on the soles of the feet and put your socks on before you go to bed. And that's it. So super easy, but man, is it ever effective. I wanted to make sure that you know that you can make your own things that work really well with these oils.